Oh, precious Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this broadcast. We thank you for each and every one that is listening to me under the sound of my voice. Father, I thank you, Father, for those listeners that celebrated with me, which is everybody who listened on yesterday's broadcast. Thank you, Father, for bringing them to me and having them to join me as I celebrated another year. Father, Lord, we're going to continue to celebrate and lift your name on high as I celebrate another day today. We're celebrating this entire month, Father. Lord, I glorify and I magnify your name, Father. Lord, because you are holy, you are worthy, and I just love you, Father. Lord, I just thank you, Father, for who you are and who you're going to be in my life for this new year, Father. Lord, I just thank you, Father, and I praise you and I magnify you. It is in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Go ahead, 'cause I know I gotta give it up. If anybody wanna go, break the switch my old status that's from sin to the saint. As winners we can't live by the picture they paint, because they know their own inner is taint. So we must live out our lives with a sense of restraint. Which means do I live and we ain't? We are controlled by the flesh with the feeling that's weight. Without a point of complaint and being able to.
What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Red, host of the RH3 Show. Welcome to another great day, another great hour here on the RH3 Show. Thank y'all so much for joining me on today, yet again, of this great broadcast. I enjoyed my time with you all on yesterday, or whenever y'all listen to me on, again, we speak in future tense, we speak in past tense, we speak in whatever kind of tense y'all are actually listening to me on, because I told you all. And if you all are subscribers of the newsletter, if you're not, go to therh3show.com and click on, just go to therh3show.com, and the first thing that you will see is that'll pop up is first thing that you will see is a offer to subscribe to the newsletter. So do that. And I would love to have you all to be a part of the newsletter family as well. And so you'll get a great newsletter, and you'll also get it probably about once or twice a month or whatever. And, you'll get information right before listeners get, and you might get, news or surprises or, offers before listeners, or maybe only or whatever. So, we're just getting the kinks out of that and get it going. And so, yeah. You know what? We got a long show today, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Coming up next is the Inside Scoop with Red. I'm going to just do that today. And then after that, I'm going to take a small break. And then Nina Taylor is going to come and interview me. And so there's going to be a portion of her broadcast is going to be on, played on here on the air, and it's going to be, she's going to interview me or what have you. And so we're going to just kick back and converse and talk or whatever. And then y'all going to know a little bit more about me and, how I got started in the business and this, that, and the third, and, and what have you. And then afterwards, if I have enough time, I'll do an Ask Red letter. Y'all love those, all right? And so still, speaking of Ask Red letters, send me an email, askrh3@gmail.com, all right? I love you all for real. Y'all know that because I say it each and every time, and I hope y'all feel it. All right? Be back with more of the RH3 Show coming up next. Want to connect with me and go beyond the broadcast? Do so by following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The RH3 Show. You can also watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/I Rep a Savior. That's youtube.com/I REPASAVIOR. Follow me on social media. Hi, it's The RH3 Show. Connect.
The RH3 Show every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 p to 7 p Eastern. For more about the broadcast, please visit therh3show.com.
Given a new life, we're living in two Christ in our sins.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Want the latest news regarding the TV, movies, sports, politics, and music industry? It is time for the Inside Scoop with Red, right here on the RH3 Show.
Wouldn't it be crazy? And don't you step and praise me? Wouldn't it be crazy? And don't you step and praise me? Wouldn't it be crazy? And don't you step and praise me? If I find my way home, yeah.
All right, it is the Inside Scoop with Red, Inside Scoop of the Rufus segment. This is where I give you all my honest, my unscripted opinion on world and entertainment news. I had to say it because I was about to say the introduction of the Real Talk with Rufus segment. Y'all know what that is. Y'all like it. But anyway, what I'm doing on this special Inside Scoop of the Red is I'm giving y'all some inside scoop on the phone calls here. And so I'm going to call, and they haven't been screened. And so we're going to call the line and see what messages have been left and see what y'all have for me, okay? All right, let's do this. I only have two? No, I only have one. Hold on a second. Okay. Well, let's see here. Okay, it gives a script. And it gives a script, and it gives also an ask, and it gives a transcript, excuse me. It gives a transcript. And so what I'm going to do, was getting ready to play it. What I'll do is do that for the Ask Red Letter. All right. And so here's Nina Taylor. Really quick, small, few seconds, flashback piece. And we'll be back with Nina Taylor, who's going to be here interviewing your boy Red. All right. Be back with more. Facebook, Twitter, IGTV, Snapchat, and YouTube. If you're not tuning into the RH3 Show weekly, here's what you've missed. Don't talk about my ex of mine because I don't even know them. They've been expunged from my record. Come on. But yeah, I mean, my current may not like gifts, but the ex probably do. I hope y'all get an understanding of what I'm saying. But, express them admiration verbally or whatever. Don't let expressing it goes 2 days after, 2 days past. But like I said, expressing them, if they don't like, speaking or whatever and don't feel loved by expressing them verbally, change that up. Express admiration with whatever. If you're married, again, we're talking about husband and wives. Okay, y'all get the picture. But if you don't like gifts, whatever, and he's a type of, a sexual being, express admiration in the bed. Put that pillow behind the headboard and express admiration that way. Husband and wives. I need to eat a fry off of that one. Let's move on. We're grown, y'all. We're grown.
I know I
As I say at the end of each broadcast, know that I love you for real. And always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, and love beyond words. Join the RH3 Show family. For more about me or the broadcast, you can visit my website at therh3show.com.
So go ahead and praise him 'cause he's been so good.
The blood redeemed you. The blood washed you. The blood set you free. There is still power in the blood. Okay. I just need somebody to shout out the blood. Somebody say, I'm shielded. I'm protected because of the blood. Now can y'all open up your mouth and give Jesus a good hallelujah because of the blood? Glory to God. Whatever may come, it won't harm me. Whatever may come, it won't harm me. For I'm shielded. Guess what, church? I'm protected. We're going a little old school church this evening. When you catch it, just sing it in your spirit tonight. Whatever may come, it won't harm me. Can I get a witness tonight? Whatever may come. Somebody say it won't. For I'm shielded. For I'm shielded. I'm protected. Shielded. Somebody raise your voice and say it. I'm protected. Come on, everybody, help me sing. The blood of Jesus. Glory to God. Yes, it's the blood of Jesus. It's still working. The blood of Jesus, it's still. The blood of Jesus, yes, Lord. Y'all got it. For I'm shielded. For I'm shielded. When I see the blood, I'll pass over you because we gotta get it in the house. Come on, say it again. The blood of Jesus. Glory to God. The blood of Jesus. It's still working. Catch it and sing it over yourself. Say it. Yes, Lord.
could have lost your house. You could have lost your family. But because of the blood covering you, trouble's gotta pass over. Sickness gotta pass over. Disease gotta pass over. Depression has to pass over. Suicide's gotta pass.
Can I just get some sanctified people? Just to say the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood. The blood is still working. I could have lost my mind, but the blood. I could have died, the blood. I'm shielded, I'm protected because of. Can somebody just shout out real loud, say the blood? And can you open up your mouth and give Jesus a praise on that right there?
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us for the show today. I know we're in the middle of a worldwide, they're calling it a pandemic, and I just wanted to do a show today that was kind of uplifting. So I invited one of my friends who is funny, who makes me laugh, who makes me smile, and I wanted him to be a part of the show today. His name is Rufus Hobson, and he's calling us from the RA3 show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Nina. How are you doing?
Good, good. All right, so what's going on and what is in the atmosphere? I know we've all been inside, so it's really hard to tell. But I can definitely tell because I have driven around, a couple of times. We've been going out maybe just a few times a week, just to the store and back, to the gas station and back. That's pretty much it. But it's like a quietness. It's like a feel that's over the whole city. It definitely feels different, especially driving around during what's normally a rush hour. It's very quiet. Everybody's kind of like really, really calm right now. What's the atmosphere like?
And I'm gonna tell you, the funny thing is, I live in the hood, and so where I live at,
yes,
it is so well in the area, in the cul-de-sac that I live at, it's quiet or whatever. But in the next cul-de-sac over, it's just a bunch of, you can tell it's a ruckus. But since this stay-at-home order, it's just like it's just peaceful and it's just quiet, and so it's a stillness, even around town. And today I spoke with my supervisor, and I've been working from home since Friday of last week, and so I talked to her today, and I went to the office to get a financial book and some supplies from Office Depot to work from home, and it was just like it's quiet around the whole city, and so it's just been quiet, real quiet.
Wow. So what's it been like? I know our shows have changed. I have several different shows. You have a show. I mean, it seems like I'm at a loss. I don't really know. I'm trying to keep it a business as usual, with my guests and everything, but everybody wants to talk about it. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it unless they want to talk about it. So, I mean, should we be talking about it more, even though we're bombarded with information all over the news and all over everywhere? Should we still be talking about it?
I mean, if yes and no, because, and like now with myself, sometimes I watch it and, the news, and I pull it up. If it comes up while I'm watching my lineup in the morning, I'll watch it and then I'll turn it off. But other than that, even the people who like to listen to us, I know they get tired of hearing it throughout the day, and so they don't want to hear it when they come on to us. And so I'll just share, part of it that's dealing with the entertainment, area, like, such and such has it, or they, contributed this amount. If I go into that part, yes, I'll talk about it. But other than that, not no doom and gloom. I'll just let them deal with, other major networks or whatever, and go from there.
Okay, yeah, that's been kind of my atmosphere. I haven't mentioned anybody who has it. I've just been encouraging everybody to do what we've been doing, which is just to keep praying.
Come on, let's tell God. Say, I can't make it. Say, I can't make it. Can't make it without you. Can't make it. Jesus, I can't do it without you. Tell them, say, you are mine. You give me strength. No, I can't make it. Can't make it.
So tell everybody about yourself. Just kind of go back to where you grew up and how you got into radio.
My mother and father, they both were from different areas. My mother's very southern. She's from the deep south in South Carolina. And my father, he was born and raised, partially raised in up north, Washington, D.C., DMV area. And he came here and, was born and raised here, like I said. And my father, he passed away when he was 32. And so I raised here and then, grew up, went to school, of course, through 12th grade, and then college. Started with information system. At first I wanted to teach. And so I did a stint with that about a year and a half after high school, and then, after that I said, okay, I'm getting into computers, and I've been wanting to, do not really the technical side of it, but maybe more so graphic design, this, that, and the third, and the information part of it. And so I did that. I didn't like it. And going back to early, mid-'90s, I've always sat in my room and listened to the radio and was big fan of Skip Murphy and Dick Clark and a few other legends in the radio. And so I really liked how they their format was, and bringing on guests. And I've always told you personally that a big influence of mine was Wendy Williams, and I looked at her and with her being in New York, and before they did the live streaming on the internet, a friend of mine would record tapes of her on the radio and send it to me, or through AOL Instant Messenger, let me hear it. And so I was just intrigued on how conversations went through the radio and through a show or whatever. And so I enjoyed it, being that listeners, I am a person who have a skin condition of albinism, and so I was not really sheltered, but I was guarded by my friends and guarded by my family. And so even times when I was with them, I spent time with them, but when I was by myself, I listened to the radio. And so I said, okay, I wanted to either do something with radio or television, because I spent most of my time listening to radio, listening to the television, watching talk shows. And now, 2020, in late 2018, I graduated with a degree in mass communications, and I'm here, and I've been doing broadcasting for 10 years in radio. It'll be 5 in July.
All right. So you're kind of new at this. You're new.
Kind of new.
You're a newbie.
Exactly, a newbie. And so, I started my brand, the RH3 Show, which is my initials, Rufus Hobson the Third. And like I said, I did a vlogging channel with YouTube. And my aunt, before she passed, she introduced me to her daughter-in-law, who had a internet radio station. And so that's how I got it. Got on to internet radio, and then before terrestrial or whatever. And so other than that, I'm new to it. And I've done my major push into the gospel, into the spotlight, was before radio. Of course, I said I was on YouTube. I used to what they call review reality shows, and so I reviewed Mary Mary's reality show, and Erica and Tina loved the show, and they were, every time I review it, they would share it on Twitter, and so that was my first push and interaction with an artist, or interaction with someone on a high caliber such as Erica and Tina. So it's just been great so far.
Shining bright, going hard, living big, like a star. Ain't trying to get it, already got it. And ain't nothing no one can do about it. 'Cause we living that best life. We living that best life. We living that best life. We living. Everybody talking talk about God, trying to get it in. We trying to win, but don't nobody seem to know where to begin. Well, I'ma tell you something, and I hope you listening. Life gets better when Jesus is your friend. You can tell him anything, he'll tell you everything. No competition, how you win it every day. Shining bright, going hard, living big, like a star. Ain't trying to get it, already got it. And there ain't nothing no one can do about it. 'Cause we living that blessed life. We living that blessed life. We living that blessed life. We living. Now I can understand you on a mission. Now I can understand you got ambition. You've been dreaming big since you was a kid, waiting for the dream to come alive so you can live. Well, I'ma tell you something, I hope you listening. Life gets better when Jesus is your friend. When you give him everything, he'll give you everything. No competition, how you win it every day. Shining bright, ayy. Going hard, living big, like a star, just like a star. Ain't trying to get it, already got it. And there ain't nothing no one can do about it. 'Cause we living that blessed life. Yeah, we living that blessed life. 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 We living that blessed life.
Oh, okay. It seems like you've been doing it a lot longer than you have, just from what I've heard. I always try to catch your show. All right, so so what do you want to do next?
I want to, well, a friend of mine, I want to still continue radio, and but when this thing should subside, I would love to, if, God blesses me with it, have a platform on television or do producing or executive producing or something, something in that area. But I always, like I said, if I do, expand it big or whatever, then that's fine. I just love, speaking and love talking and love communicating with, guests and interviews and talking real life topics and real grown folks discussions and all of that or whatever. And so a friend of mine, we have an idea coming up, and I'll be announcing it soon, but something that we're doing, and it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and so everything is coming to a head or whatever, and so I'm enjoying it.
Sounds good. I like your grown folks discussions. People are asking some really crazy things, which I'm just hoping that they're kids asking you this stuff and not grown-ups, which they may be, right?
Some of them are, and that's what I'm saying, Nina, because like one time, it was, it was I had received a letter, and it was a older guy, wanting to date his neighbor, and his neighbor was about 20 years young, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? This is, she was just straight out of, she was an adult, but why are you going to ask questions and you know the answer to? And so I get plenty of questions and answers and plenty of questions, about how to do this, that, and the third. And like, come on, use your common sense.
Well, you'd be surprised. What's the craziest thing anyone's ever asked you?
It hasn't been really crazy. It's just been, I get a lot of, what should I do? A lot of people hadn't, if you live in long distance, and I get this all the time. If you live in long distance, and say for instance, a young lady let her long distance boyfriend move in with her, and it don't work out, and she try to put him out, and he not want to go. Of course, well, one, he don't have no other place to go because he lived long distance. Where he gonna gonna go? People, it's just common sense type questions, and it's people just not using it, honestly. And so that's why I call it Real Talk with Rufus, because just give it to them straightforward, and that's how I've learned growing up, is for people to understand or to to go through, to get through what they're going through. You got to give it to them straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Nina, with that, let me ask you how, like I said before, I started out with being on my flagship station. How did you get to where where you're at? Because like I said, whenever I did my job with the sister station, that's how I found out who you were, and I'm like, okay, I need to use this. So how did you come up with your gospel, with your gospel news and your format, and with what you're doing now into radio? Because I know people who listen to us, like me, say for instance, I emulated somebody else, and maybe whoever, listening to you want to emulate, or want to, glean off of you. So, how can they get into, or how did you get started?
Well, really, I had to go back. I was an intern in college, which, I told you. I was in my junior year going into my senior year at an HBCU here in Ohio. And my program director at the radio station, WCSU, he used to work at a station here in Columbus. And he kind of, they kind of knew what he was doing and everything. And he had arranged to start sending interns there for summer programs. So I guess it was just only me who went that year. So he told me, he said, but they're not going to take you unless you audition. So I had to literally leave school. It was like we were doing finals week, and I had to jump in the car, drive almost an hour and a half in the middle of rush hour, and get to the station before it closed. And that's how I auditioned, and I was actually the last one. And my cousin was working at that station, but they never knew that we were related. We had said we weren't going to say that we were related, because then people would say something. But anyway, so that's how I got started. And then the news and almost everything I'm doing right now is actually started by someone telling me that I need to do it. I was actually doing an interview for a gospel artist back in 2012. He had to get on the plane and had an interview already set up with a station in Texas. So he wasn't able to do it. So he asked me, he says, well, why don't you do it for me? Can you do it for me? Call them and see if that'll be okay. You can do it. You can tell them about the album and blah, blah, blah. And just go for there. Everything. See if they'll do it. I said, okay. So I called the radio station, and the guy said, sure. Well, anyway, after I ended up staying on the show like the entire evening, because this was a night show. And then the next day he calls me and said, yeah, you're so good. I want you to come back. He said, why don't you come back next week? And let's do something else. So I went back and I did it. And then he calls me back again and said that the owner of the radio station really likes you, and he would like for you to be, let's figure something out where you can be on the station permanent. And I said, well, what? I said, I can't just come on your show every night. That's crazy. And he said, no, he wants you to do something on your own. He said, think of something. I said, what am I going to do? He said, well, just do some news or something. I said, some news? I said, what? Oh, my God. I said, some news. So I just kind of had to think about it. What am I going to do? And I said, well, the gospel station.
Make it without you. Can't make it. Jesus, I can't do it without you. Tell them, say you are mine. You give me strength. No, I can't make it. Here we go. I need you. Like the river needs water. Yeah. Like a son needs his father. Like a
starting
would
to feel better.
encourage the people to, your listeners to even, to just go for it. Even, no matter who, no matter who you will see during the, because and this is with me, and I think that, this social distancing, going back to, where we at now, it's okay, but just don't be afraid to and it goes back to even faith and even on my broadcast, Christian bait, and of course yours as well. I use faith and of course we have to, use wisdom or whatever, but always be kind and nice to people because you don't know who you will meet, just like you, with your journey or whatever, and vice versa with mine, because I'm the type of person that whoever I meet, if I'm in a circle, I'm always close to or, really closer to the person that I either came with or I'm most comfortable with. And so whenever I was introduced to my aunt, she came here, I was introduced to her daughter-in-law for the first time at a family reunion. I'm like, I don't know her. And so I was really standoffish, but it wasn't intentional. And so, like I said, just you would tell your listeners from, from your journey, just step out the box.
Absolutely. I would say, find something that you enjoy, something that you know about. The things that we're doing, we could talk about them all day and all night. Don't go into a genre of music that you don't know anything about,
right,
and that you don't like. I get a lot, we have interns coming and going, and they don't even know what kind of music they want to do. I don't think I want to do gospel. Okay, well, why are you here? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I just want to learn about radio. I said, well, that's not how you do it. You're going to learn about gospel radio from people who do gospel. And if that's not what you want to do, if that's not where your heart is, you need to go to where it is. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's what I tell them. I said, I could teach you about the equipment all day and all night, but we do gospel. Most of the people that I work with have never done anything else. Now, I've done every genre there is except for country and classical. I'll tell anybody any day. I've done every genre of music except for country and classical. I've done jazz. I've done everything. R&B, hip-hop, all that stuff. I say, you got to find out where you're going to be comfortable, and that is how you're going to learn.
And and even, even on the hip-hop station, they have some of their, on-air personalities do parties and host this, that, and the third. So like you said, you have to be, know the music that you're comfortable. Okay, you might know the equipment, but they might have you as a personality be the spokesperson of, the station and go out with the street team or go out, to this, that, and the third. But gospel, they really don't, do too much of that unless it's an event or a concert or what have you. And, and do that.
Well, hey, and that's what worked. That's always worked for, our stations have always been successful because we've done that. Yes, and then sometimes people would show up at events and go, is that gospel? They would be like, surprised. And I'm like, why? Why are you surprised? Oh, well, it's like, well, we don't play hymns on the radio. I mean, what are you saying? It's like, and then they'll say, oh, I love that music. I love it. Oh, that's so, who is that? I love it. Then they end up loving the music, and then see, now you've gotten some new people. And see, once you get them in, then once you start, then they're going to be introduced to ministry as well, because we have music and we have ministry. You bring them in with the music, the ministry is what keeps them. So what should we be doing right now? It's like when you get on every day, it's like, what should we be talking about? And this is where I was 2 weeks ago when this all first started. What should we be talking about? What should we be doing? You know what? We should be doing and talking about the same stuff that we normally do. You know, I had B. Slade on last week, and my goodness, everybody just loved it. It should be, I think that we should be business as usual. What do you think?
Exactly, business as usual. And I reverted back to, my ground roots, I seen, now, I don't know if you've noticed that the talk shows, well, some of them are still doing their shows, but they're doing them from home. And, they're reaching, people who are at home just like us. And so they going on YouTube with this, that, and the third. And so I went back, to doing my YouTube channels, or, doing that, but doing as the RSC show format. And so, I did a clipping. During my editing, I added your gospel news in it and whatever, just as if I was doing it on radio, but it was in video format. And so, just reaching that market. And so it's just still feeding the same people. Just is the same format, doing the same thing as we've been doing, but trying to use other avenues and areas.
I've noticed it, and not only myself, because I've been on several shows over the past week, that everybody doing their shows from home, they're a lot more relaxed. You know what I mean? Don't you feel a little bit more relaxed being at home in your pajamas?
Right.
Yeah. I know I do, right? But I have a home studio anyway. But actually doing the shows from home, I can get used to it, okay?
You and me both. Exactly.
Well, we're just going to keep on, like you said, business as usual, doing our shows like we do them and playing some great music. Now, who do you like? Who do you like, artist-wise?
Artist-wise, I am, let me pull out my phone. Artist-wise, I like Darius Polk. I've been having him on repeat lately. It's a few others. Who else? I was surprised at Kanye West. Not his personal Christian album, but the choir's album that came out on Christmas Day. That was really nice, and so I was very surprised at that one, and that one was a good one. I'm a big fan of Anita Wilson. I love her. And who else? Let's see here. Pastor Mike Jr. He has risen. He has climbed the charts so high, and I've been trying to get him, but I enjoy him. And this dude, Isaac Curry, I love his new song, Her. I love that.
Yes.
But it's a story behind it, and I don't think he will remember. In probably a couple years ago, it was during football season, and I forgot who the other gospel artist was going back and forth with on Facebook, and so some of us was, going back and forth with them. It wasn't no disagreement. It was just, sports banter or whatever. And some of the fans had jumped in the conversation, and he had said something. It wasn't disrespectful, but it was kind of on the smart end. Well, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can get off of such and such. Get off of my page or whatever. And, I kind of felt offended, but it wasn't nasty though. But I said okay. And so just last week, it was his funny. And me liking him has resurrected, because I don't know if you've seen it. James Fortune does some kind of karaoke or talent thing on Instagram. When I tell you, he had Isaac to host it, and it was the most funniest. And so I really like Isaac. Isaac is okay with me. He's okay with me. And so that was a funny story about, up and down or whatever. But I really enjoy listening to Isaac, for honestly.
Wow. Sean Scales, I think, I've loved him since he was 17 years old. And he's going to show the world just how talented he really is. Isaac Curry is another one that I love so much. Anthony Brown, Group Therapy, Old School. Oh, my goodness. There's so many. Fred Hammond can do no wrong. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I was listening to God Love a Romance just today. See, we have time to do everything now. We can listen to music for a few hours. We can watch TV for a few hours. we can go back to work. We can do shows, and we got time to really enjoy stuff and to meditate and do things that we don't normally get to do. I think we should take take care of yourself, and of course be careful, but make this time productive. That's the main thing. Anytime I've talked to anyone, they said, "Oh, I'm just keeping busy." Why is it stress? If you were off today, it wouldn't be a big deal. You know what I mean? It's a big deal because when somebody tells you can't do something, that's when you want to do it. You notice that?
Exactly.
All right, well, Rufus, I appreciate you. We love the show. Again, the show is
Thank you so much.
RH3 show. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, how they can connect with you.
You can connect with me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that at the RH3 Show, or you can visit my website at www.therh3show.com.
Sounds good. All right. You stay safe out there, and I thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'm honored. Thank you.
God will take care, and He's always there. I know that.
Hey, this is Quayla.
This is Isaiah Templeton. This is Dave Little.
I'm Nina Taylor from The Gospel News.
Well, this is Rock River alongside Red.
You are listening to my boy Red with the RH3 Show.
And you're listening to the RH3 Show. And you're listening to the RH3 Show.
And you're listening to the RH3 Show.
Boss of boss. Oh, yes. Keep it locked.
What I just told you, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it.
You implied that.
I said what I said. You don't like it, you don't like it.
Need an advice? Got a question for me? Or you just need some help solving a problem? It is the Ask Red Letter segment right here on the RH3 Show. All right, you guys, it is time for the Ask Red Letter segment right here on the RH3 Show. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I just cheated y'all. I'm gonna be real with you. I just cheated y'all. I listened to the audio right before we got back on. Just for privacy issues or just for privacy reason, and just to make sure everything was clear or what have you. And so just for protection of my people, I do that. Just for protection of you guys. And so I think both of them said their name, and so what I'm going to do is play it after the name, and then we're gonna roll it, okay? So let me pause you all. And then I'm going to play it after their name. I'm going to mute you all, and then I'm going to play it after the name. Okay, you know what? What I'm going to do, I thought about that. These are Ask Red letters. And so what I am going to do, since I didn't get an approval from them, and they didn't say to play my voice on the radio, I'm not going to do that. That's by protection. So what I'll do is I will give you all a synopsis of what I heard, because I don't want nobody to try to differentiate or who's this and whose voice is this, because I know how y'all can get, because I can do this myself. Trust me, I can. But it was a guy. He called up and he wanted to know, he'd been dating this girl for 3 months. And every now and then, and almost every month, she wanting something from me, either a nice expensive bracelet or or something, and a credit off, phone or what have you, or whatever. And so he wants to know, he feels like that he's being used. Do I think he's being used? And my answer will be, in a sense, you are, but in a sense, no. And it really depends, because it depends on how long her last relationship was. Because that might what she been used to, you know. That might what she been used to, because, and that's what's wrong with us fellas. And not really wrong, but that's what us fellas have to deal with when we're courting, when we're dating, you know. It's not really have to live up to the previous guy, but, you know, she has to go into another realm and another avenue and another relationship with another guy who have different standards, you know. But upon agreeing to date, those standards would have to, your standards, my standards would have to come off on her. And of course, she would have to like and agree to those standards. You get it? And so, is she being you? Is she using you? And then again, well, let me back up before I ask that question. Another thing, that's probably how you tried to get her. Because if you don't stop it now, how you get her, there you go. I heard y'all say it. How you get her is how you keep her. You have to continue to buy. No. No. And so, with that being said, are you being used? It really depends, because if you started that thing, then no, you're not being used, because you started it. What's they say? You started it. You had to, you got to continue to do it. That's something that you started it. But if she come off the gate, started asking within 3 months, nah. But then again, that's your girl. That's your girl. You as a gentleman have to continue to, you know, whatever her likes and dislikes. But then again, you also have to let her know that there are boundaries and there are, you know, guidelines to this thing. Look, you know, hey, I don't want to have to continue by you, or I don't want to have to continue using material things for, you know, each and every time. And I will say this, okay, bracelets and all of that stuff, those are gifts. But her upkeep, I would not mind, you know, giving her money to go get her hair done. I would not mind giving her money to go get her feet done. I would not mind giving her to go get her nails done. That is my duty. I have to do that. I don't have to do that, but as a gentleman, I want to do that. Why? I don't drive, y'all. By the way, I don't drive. But if I have a car, and if I wanted my car to look nice, every time that car needed, you know, I wanted to get some new rims, I have to go put some rims on it. People look at my rims. People look at my car. Oh, that car got some nice rims. He just put that on it. If I want my girl to look nice, I have to make sure, and if she the type that like that, I have to make sure she gets what she likes, and you know, she stay looking fly. But if she your girl, you know, you have to make her, you know, continue to look fly, but in moderation. You know, if she continue to ask for Tiffany bracelets and Pandora's this, that, and the third, then hey, hold on. Okay, let's work this thing out. Let's get paparazzi first, because that's on an inexpensive side, but you're still getting jewelry, and I'm still buying you this. Speaking of paparazzi, I sell it myself. If you want to buy any, you can go to my website, paparazziaccessories.com/322071. 322071. paparazziaccessories.com/322071. You can get nice jewelry for you, men, of course, and ladies. But anyway, what have you. But like I was saying, and then again, there's the time limit. 3 months. By that time, I would say I would start giving gifts, but it wouldn't be no every month. Nah. I say this. You know what, y'all? I'm going to, after next week, we have what? After next week, after our guests come in, we have at least, I'm running out of time, y'all. Again. I think we have about another week or two. But what I'm going to do, y'all, in the next week or two, I did a series on dating. I'm going to be on the broadcast, maybe about 10 minutes live. Okay, after next week, we have like 2 weeks in April. Those 2 weeks, I'm going to try to air the series. In the first part of the series, maybe about 10 minutes, I'll be live. The last part of it will be the series that I've pre-recorded. So it's going to be pre-recorded, and you may hear old, segments, old news, old drops, old announcements or whatever. But just know that, what have you. And it's going to be, it's going to talk about, and I've even talked about a dating timeline, because I feel that, me personally, I feel that within 6 months, 0 to 6 months, you would know if she's for you. 6 months to 12 months, you would know if by that 6 months, it should be time for you to start asking her, look, I'm ready for you to be my wife, this, that, and the third. But that's my timeline. Don't rush into nothing. Don't rush into nothing. But by that 6 months of you dating her or whatever, it should be in your mind or thought. All right, you guys. That's it for the RH3 show. Know that I love you for real, and always remember to live every day, laugh every moment, to love God, love yourself and other people beyond words. For more about me or the broadcast, you can visit my website at therh3show.com. I will see you all when I see you all, when I see you all, when I see you all. I'll talk to y'all later. Chucking up them deuces. If y'all joining me on Thursday, it's just us, no guests. We chopping up and we just gonna relax and chill. And I'll have a good topic on men and relations. I think I'll do that. I think I was gonna do that last couple of weeks. Men loving your girl, your lady properly. We gonna do that. That's right. Fellas, join me on Thursday, all right? We're going to do that because I love that topic. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
With the beat that is weight, and pray without a quitters complaint, and being able to turn down your dinner at 8. That means you gotta pay, because the price that he paid for me gave to me my freedom, so I'm not in slavery. Christ made a way for me, grace me then paid for me, a way back to God through the life that he gave for me.
Peace party, people. See you later.
I'm saying bye-bye. Good night.